Hi, this is Kevin. Welcome to lesson number one of how to get your life together. Uh, yeah, so the reason, there are five lessons. There's no particular order. You can listen to any lessons you want. But this one is to basically to address the fundamentals of how you get your life together. Uh, the reason for this recording is basically is that just to acknowledge that there are things that you have to take care of first. There are things that you have to take care of first before you can take steps to do other things. Okay, before you want to make more money, before you want to like just be a better person, to take care of yourself, and before you want to learn other things, before a lot of things, before you want to start a lot of things, there are like some stuff you have to take care of. Okay, so that's, to me, that's very obvious. And it's just that when I was looking for stuff like that, when I would try to look for stuff to like how to get your life together, I went on the internet, have some books and whatever, blah blah. Like, like they don't talk about this kind of stuff. Okay, so when I was trying to get my life together, and I realized that, oh dear, I can't really get my life together because I don't have a car, or I didn't have the education, or like I don't have money to invest, like just stuff like that. It's like there are things that you need to, there are like fundamental things that you have to take care of before you can take the next steps. Okay, it's like okay, let's say if you were training for a marathon. Okay, but at the time you're like sick, or like you have injury. So the very first thing is that, like, before you start training, you have to like recover from your injury, right? You have to like not be sick, right? So it's kind of like that. It's like there are things that you need to take care of, and these are the fundamentals. So today we'll just gonna go over the fundamentals, and then that will be the first lessons anyway. So okay, so these are things that are important. Like, if you want to get your life together, you have to take care of these things first. Okay, if you don't take care of these things first, then no matter uh, how successful you are, like whatever, like you become better in, whatever way, but then if you don't take care of these things, then these things will always be something that hold you back. Okay, you can be like very very successful, you can be all the way on the top, but because of this thing, that will just cause you to like fall right back down. Okay, if you don't take care of these things. Okay, and on the reverse side, it's like if you are dealing with all these problems, then it is impossible for you to take the step to be successful anyway. Okay, it's gonna be very hard. So these are the things that I noticed in my life, but also in other people's life, and I feel that it's important to talk about. Like, these fundamentals are things that you have to take care of first, otherwise you cannot take the first steps. Okay, so before you begin, I just want to talk about disclaimers. Okay, so in this lesson, I will talk about some stuff about like, how to make more money, how to be successful, and blah blah. Okay, of course that's kind of like that's just an idea. Okay, it's not something you should take literally. It's more of a like a expression, I guess. So you shouldn't take stuff like that like literally, especially from like YouTube and stuff. Okay, so I just want to acknowledge that it's like I am basically just sharing my experience of like what works for me, and then because of that, I think that if people will do similar things, yeah, they will achieve like the same result. Okay, or like close to it, or whatever. So that's the intention. Okay, like I'm not responsible for like you making more money. Okay, like, and I'm not like rich anyway, so I'm not like a good person really to listen to if you really want to make a lot of money anyway. But I think it's important to put these things out there. It just, just so that like that, like, just because we talk about like how to be successful, how to get your life together, how to like make more money, how to do this, like these are like sensitive things. Okay, like if people really want to make change, they will look for stuff and they'll take these things like seriously. And then the disclaimer is basically like a protection for me and for you. like just so that like the people that shares idea, like they just don't get sued all the times, right? Like if I say, oh, you should do this, it'll make you more healthy. If I do this, you make more money, and then people do it and then they don't make more money, they then become healthy, then they'll like sue you and stuff. Then like if that happens all the time, then nobody will share anything. Nobody will want to talk to anybody. Nobody want to socialize with anybody. Nobody want to teach anything. Okay, so it's kind of like it's kind of like that. Like we shouldn't, judge and like hold other people responsible for like your life. Okay, like everyone's responsible for like your own life. But sharing is okay, because like we have to share. Okay, we have to share. We have to share. We have to like get new idea. We have to like talk to each other. We have to socialize. We have to like help each other. Okay, so the intention is to help. Okay, but it's like I cannot be responsible for your life and your action. Like you have to like just take this idea and see like what you can do with it. Like if it benefits you, if it helps you, that's great. But if not, then too bad. Okay, so like this is just like something that I want to say, that it's like I'm not guaranteeing anything. Okay, and I will also talk about like healthy stuff, like how to be healthy, how to like just feel better and everything. And again, that's like the same thing as like money. It's like I'm just sharing my own experience and what works for me. And because like I got better because of the thing I did, so like the intention is that like if I just share my experience with other people and they do the same thing or they do similar thing, it will like make them feel better, it will make them feel well, and make them become healthy also. Okay, but then again, it's like I'm not a doctor, I'm not a like an expert on nutrition. I'm not like really that healthy anyway. I'm just like normal person, normal healthy. I mean, I'm not like sick or anything. And so like you cannot take this kind of stuff literally. Okay, like there are some people take this kind of stuff literally. Like they went online and they have cancer or something, they're like look for something on the internet and they'll say, oh, you do this, and then they do that, they spend the money, they did something, and like it didn't work, so like they sue them or they like hold them responsible. It's like if everybody does that, then nobody will share anything about health. Okay, like the internet, YouTube will be like empty, like nobody will share anything about like how to be healthy, nobody will share any idea, nobody will like help each other, nobody will support each other. Why? Because like everybody just suing each other, like responsible for your own life. Okay, you have to be responsible for your own life. Like other people cannot be responsible for your life. Okay, but the intention is to help. Okay, is to help, is to support, is to encourage you. Like my intention is just to help other people so they feel better, they can know what to do, they can have some idea about what to do. Okay, and it is because when I was trying to get my life together, there isn't anybody that was helping me. Okay, there are some people that are helping me, like maybe not directly, but they share their idea, and then I took their idea into consideration and it really helped me. So that's what this is all about. It's just sharing and sharing ideas, and to share my experience and to share some message, that in the hope that because it works for me, if you do these things, it will most likely work for you too. Okay, but at the same time, it's like you have to just be smart about it. You have to know that you cannot just like hold other people responsible for your own action. You cannot just like judge them or just think that like, oh well, it didn't work. If it didn't work, it didn't work. Okay, like you cannot sue them because it didn't work. Okay, they're not responsible. Okay, this is like just like YouTube, like it's free, like there's no obligation, there's no contract, there's like there isn't anything under the law. So but the disclaimer is still important, because it is important to acknowledge, not just with this, but with like anything in life, like you have to know what you're getting into. Okay, and there's always a possibility that nothing will happen, nothing will work. Okay, you cannot like expect like something like is like guaranteed, unless they say it's guaranteed, unless you sign a contract, unless it's under the law, unless like they assure you and there's like some kind of a collateral or something, and then you can say, oh, you're liable because of this and this. Otherwise, you're not liable. Okay, I'm not liable and you're not liable. Nobody's liable. Okay, but sharing ideas and give out information in the hope of helping people, I think that's okay. Like if nobody is allowed to do that, then nobody will be able to help like each other. So before we begin, I just wanna say that like about the disclaimer and this and that. Okay. So one of the fundamentals, so fundamental number one is debt. So if you owe money, you have to try to take care of that. Okay, if you have any debt, you have to try to take care of that. Okay, debt is something that will hold you back tremendously. Okay, so if you want to get your life together, the first thing you have to do is to manage your debt. Okay, so of course there's all kinds of debt. Okay, like if your life is pretty complicated and you have like a lot of debt, but I don't think, hopefully the people listening, like their life is not complicated. Okay, very simple. So as when for people that they start to do like a lot of things with money, then they will have like all kinds of debt. Okay, like they will like owe like a lot of money, or they will have money they need to pay and they don't even know. Okay, so like they just keep on paying, or they just have debt and they don't even know they have debt, and then the debt just accumulate. Or if they know that they have debt, but they just can't pay it, or they don't want to pay it, or they think it'll just go away by itself, they will never go away. Okay, like even when you die, your debt doesn't go away. Okay, so debt is something that's very important. You really have to learn how to manage your debt. Like if you don't know how to manage your debt, just go online and just find something to help you manage debt. Okay, but the thing about debt is that like you don't have to pay off all of your debt to like start your life. Okay, like there are some debt that you would never pay off, even like for the rest of your life you probably won't be able to pay off. Okay, like there are people that they have their life is like that. Even for very rich and successful people, like they owe like so much money, like even when they die they probably won't pay for it. But they have so much money also, so it's kind of like a weird thing. Okay, so there are some philosophy out there that say that there's like good debt, and like as long as you make a lot of money you can have some debt, is okay. I don't agree with that. I think debt is just debt. Like why would debt be a good debt? Like if you have to like pay it back, like wouldn't it be better if you don't have debt? If you don't have debt, then why would debt be good? Okay, like if you don't have debt, then it's like you make more money if you don't have debt. So how is debt good? Okay, so the people say that you can accumulate like good debt. Like don't listen to that. This is bullshit. There's no such thing as good debt. Okay, so try not to have any debt. Okay, if you can get rid of all your debt, like man, the sense of freedom you experience, man. Like when I get rid of my debt, like the sense of freedom I have, oh my god, it's amazing. Okay, like so you just have to imagine like, okay, if I don't have any debt, like how wonderful my life will be. Okay, but like I say, like you don't have to pay off all your debt. Like if you can, that'll be the best, but if you cannot, but like you have to manage it. Like as long as you manage it, as long as it's under control, you can take steps to get your life together. Okay, so here are some examples that I see that is most common, based on what I see. Like I say, there's all kinds of debt. There's like debt that I don't even know that can be debt. So many mysterious things with finance. Okay, but the common one that I see, for example, these are just example. Okay, are taxes. Okay, now if you owe taxes, like you have to pay that shit. Okay, like if you don't pay that shit, like you can never get away with it. Okay, like they will catch you, and if you don't pay, like they'll penalize you. There's interest. There's all. I mean, you just can't get away from it. Like taxes, you know, like try not to owe any taxes. Okay, like if you owe taxes, yeah, make sure you pay your taxes. Like a lot of people owe like alimony, child support, like those things. Like you cannot get away with it. You have to take care of it. Okay, I don't know how you do it. Just take care of it. Go to court. You know, get a new settlements or something like. That's another thing. If you get sued, you need to pay. Like, man, I'm sorry, just pay. Okay, like you have to take care of your debt. You cannot have debt. Okay. Another big thing is loans. Okay, like if you take out loans from some bullshit, man, loans are like horrible. That's probably the most horrible thing is to get a loan from something. You know, it doesn't matter from what, like from those like loan sharks or from like banks or from like, man, like from family members or something. Man, those are the like the worst, man. Like you have to like try not to have any debts. You know, from like if you have loans, man, the interest is just, man, just so try not to get any debt. If you have loans, and try to like pay that off or like take care of it or something. Okay, like any loans, you know, like even like legitimate loan like mortgage and like car payment. Like, man, just try to take care of that. Okay, don't accumulate new debt. Don't accumulate like loans. Okay, so like if you have loans, you can pay it off, like student loans and shit like that. Like, man, just try your best to like manage that, like pay off. Okay, it will be something that will always hold you back. Okay, another common thing is like fine, like we get fined by something, by the government or by like company or like if you get tickets or something, or like, you know, there's fees and fines, like you didn't do something right and then you get fined, and then like those are the things that like you'll be like, oh fuck it, you know, I'm not paying this parking ticket, it's bullshit, or like, it's fucking car, and like man, those things doesn't go away. Okay. If it goes away, man, that would be great, but like, it doesn't. You have to like pay those things. Okay, like if you don't pay those things, like they can arrest you, man. Like it would be like a, it would be like a criminal like act, you know, like they take these things like very seriously, like fines and tickets and like all these things. Okay, another big thing is like credit card, man. Like people cannot manage their credit card. I think credit card is just such a great invention. Okay, it gives you like such a convenience and like purchasing power, but there are people that advocate that you don't need to use credit card, like because the only reason they say that is because like people just don't know how to manage their credit card. They just get into so much debt with credit card. Okay, you have to pay your goddamn credit card. Okay, just pay it. Okay, and so like now you have to like take care of that, like credit card debt and like borrow money and like anything that generates debt, or like any debt that you don't pay. That's not good, man. You have to like manage your debt. Okay, so I don't care what you do. Okay, manage it. Okay, take care of your debt. When I will try to get my life together, I have like, you know, debt. Like I don't have like horrible debt. You know, I don't have like gambling debt or anything like that. Like something I can never pay off. But you know, I do have some like normal debt. I have like credit card, a lot of credit card. Man, especially when you're poor, you get into debt, man. That's like just one of the sad things, because you just can't afford things and you have to buy it, so you have to get into debt. So that is just something that is just, you know, very horrible. And hopefully these lessons will get you all of that. But yeah, debt is just quite horrible. And I have like car payment, I took out a personal loan, and I have like medical bills. Man, the medical bills, man. And just some, you know, just some stuff I purchased, and I just have to pay those things, and all this money, all this debt, you know, like I cannot go anywhere with that. Like even makes me like don't want to make more money, because like I'm just like, man, fuck, why all the money I make I have to pay this off anyway, so like, what's the point? Okay, so don't think like that. Okay, so please pay off your debt. Okay, and the one thing that helps me a lot, okay, it's like one of the only things, that really talk about like how to get rid of your debt, how to pay off your debt. Oh yeah, before, like, don't try to find any like debt consolidating company, or like there are some people that say they will help you pay off your debt or help you manage your debt. Like man, you don't get scammed, okay? Like you have to see like if they want to help manage your debt, it has to be like free, okay? Because it's already, you're already at negative. Like, what the fuck will you spend more money just so you can have more debt, so you can take care of your debt? Like, what the fuck, you know? That doesn't make sense, okay? So you have to be careful about that. Okay, so the only thing that I find that was like legit and like it really helps me, if Dave Ramsey's money management system, okay? So Dave Ramsey is on the internet, just Google him, he's very big. He basically has a method of paying off debt. It's called the debt snowball. Okay, I think they even credit the name to his method. Okay, like I think he invented that term, but I'm not sure. Okay, but debt snowball is a very great method to how you pay off debt. Okay, so debt snowball. Okay, so just Google it, or you can go to his website, Dave Ramsey's. He has books. He has like podcast, he has like YouTube channel, he has a show, just talk about debt snowball, like how that's a method of paying off debt, like very quickly, efficiently, effectively, and continuously. And not only that, like it will like make you like well disciplined with your finance, and then like through doing that method you will also be like financially educated. Okay, so this is a very great method. So it's debt snowball. Okay, so just Google it, look it up. I will try to put some links down so you can follow. Okay, so that's one thing about debt. Okay, please take care of it. So fundamental number 2. Okay, so another thing is law. Okay, so law just means that try not to have any transgression against the law. Okay, it also means that don't break any law. Okay, anything within the boundary of law you can do. Okay, especially nowadays, there's so many weird things out there, and there's so many protests, there's so many argument about things, and like so many people like they don't listen to the police. They're like toy with them, and just like within the boundary of the law. And then the police too. The police supposed to know the law, but they break every single one of them. So like I don't know what's going on here. So okay, but basically try to live like a lawful and peaceful life. If you just do that, then you will not have any transgression against the law. Okay, but you know, if you're confusing about the law, if you like do things that's like borderline, you're not sure if legal or not, like illegal, like try your best not to break any law. Okay, like try not to have any transgression against the law. Okay, be knowledgeable about law, like what is lawful, what is not lawful. I think education of the legal system is important, especially like if you want to do something with your life, if your life becomes complicated, you're taking on like new ventures, and even when you become more successful, like man, like there's more and more law and legalistic like information and things that you have to do. Okay, so my advice to that is that try not to make your life too complicated with the law, and try not to have any transgression against the law. Like just live a normal, lawful, peaceful life. And if you do that, you will not have any transgression against the law. Okay, everything within the boundary of law is enough. Like within the boundaries of law, you have like so much freedom. You can be successful in that realm. Okay, so you don't have to break any law. And then another thing is that like so this is the fundamental, because like once you have transgression against the law, and if you don't take care of it, you don't try to take care of your problem with the law. Now, if you're in the lawsuit or you're in the process of suing somebody, or you're a criminal, or hopefully no one here listening to is like a hardcore criminal that like, you know, you have no way out. Okay, but if you're a hardcore criminal and then if you committed like a crime, man, I'm sorry, like yeah, turn yourself in, man. You know, like you rather not to have any transgression against the law. You rather like face the law and let it take care of you, and then you take care of them. Okay. But hopefully no one listening here has so much problem with the law. You're just like normal things, like kind of like me, like normal people have some transgression against the law, and then you just have to try to take care of it. Okay. So here's an example. Okay. So one of the big example is car. Okay. If you have a car, then you have transgression against the law. So like don't drive a car. So like the thing about car is that, man, people just have so much transgression because they drive, because they have a car. Okay, there's so many things, especially young people, man. I don't know what's the thing with young people. Okay, like car is like the first thing, probably like the first responsibility you're given as like a person living in the modern society. Okay, so you have to learn to like not to have any transgression. Okay, like against the law, and then car is a good practice. Okay, like try not to have any transgression with like car and driving, and that's just something I see like so much, especially with young people. They pretty much like ruin their life by the time they're 18 because they have so much transgression against the law with car. Okay, like speeding ticket, car crash, or like a big thing is DUI. Okay, man, what's with people in DUI and DWI? Like, just don't do that. Like, that's just so dangerous and it's so bad. Okay, and then it's against the law. It's so easily to go against the law, like doing DUI and stuff. Like, you know, like that is just a reflection of like how you live your life. Like, if you have DUI, DWI, if you have like severe like penalties from that, you have to like just think about your life. Okay, like try not to have any transgression against the law, like with DUI, DWI, and please like don't drive without a license or permit. Like if your driver's license suspended or something, take care of that. You gotta have a driver's license, man. You gotta have an ID. Like, how can you like live in the modern city without like a driver's license? Okay, so you gotta take care of driver's license. You know, like don't let it go expire. Don't, you know, like don't have fake ID. Don't like, you know, like take care of your driver's. I have a legal driver's license. Okay, man, traffic tickets and you know stuff like that. Like another thing is that like court. Oh my gosh, like, please just go to court. If you need to go to court, just go to goddamn court, man. Don't miss the court day or anything. That just accumulates, man. You can, like, they'll put you in prison if you don't go to court, okay? Like just, if you need to go to court, just go to court. I don't know what's the thing with, like, cars and, man, get people into so much trouble, like, driving without a license, with an unregistered car, without insurance. You know, without like a tag and like expired license plate, like expired plate, expired, like you don't have rear view mirror, you don't have no lights, or man, something. Okay, like don't transgress against the law. Okay, like take care of your like car and stuff. Okay, another big thing I see is like illegal status. Okay, like in the United States, there's so many people who are like, they're not legal, you know, like they're like perfect American, okay? They can just, they're American, but like they don't have legal status, okay? They're illegal immigrants, there's something, they don't have citizenship, no green card. Like, man, what's up with that, man? Take care of that, man. Come on, man. Like, there's ways, okay? There's ways to take care of that. Don't tell me you've been in this country for like 20, 30, 40 years, and at the end it was like, oh, you're an illegal citizen. Like, what the hell? You've been in this country 30, 40 years and you're still not legal. Like, what the hell? You're just lazy, okay? Try to find a way to like take care of that, okay? There's a law just like pass to citizenship, okay? Try to take care of that. I was an immigrant too, okay? I was living irresponsibly before also. Like, I didn't realize like my legal status like was illegal until I like stopped going to like college. Okay, like when I went to college, I had student visa, and that's how I didn't think about it anymore. You know, I saw like, oh, student visa, okay, and then after like I stopped going to school, become like an illegal like immigrant person, no legal status, no citizenship, and I don't even have a green card. I was like, what the fuck, you know, like how do you like live in a society? How do you live in the United States without like being illegal? That's like completely like like bogus. Okay, like I there's things to like get my citizenship. Now I use a citizen, and that's just like the basic thing you have to do. You cannot live your life without like legal status. Okay. Another big thing. These are just examples. There's countless. Okay. There's so many ways you could to break the law, and then like these are just like example I use, and this is something I see more often, and just like illegal activities. Okay, just criminal acts. Okay, stealing is a big thing, man. Like people just steals from like going to a store, just like grab a thing and just walk out with it without paying, to like Grand Theft Auto, or like, man, stealing. Especially young people, I don't know what's the deal with stealing, man. Is it a psychological thing or something? Like just don't steal. Don't steal anything, okay? Don't be a thief. Don't try to break into a house. Don't try to, like, man, there's so many those kind of things going on, okay? Don't try to like rob somebody, like, man, this is such a dangerous society. Like we have to be a peaceful, law-abiding citizen, okay? If you just be a peaceful, law-abiding citizen, like, you're not gonna have transgression against the law, okay? Another big thing I see is like drugs. Like the drug problem can be all the way to like smuggling cocaine across the border, all the way to like just like have some illegal substance at your house or something. Like drugs is something very unfortunate, and within the legal realm of like drug use, you can use as much as you want, but then like don't try to go beyond that, okay? Like selling drugs, drug dealing, using drugs, it's just something that doesn't benefit you in whatsoever, okay? Not only that, it costs money, okay? It's not even cheap. It costs money to use drug, okay? And then when you use drug, you don't make money from that unless you deal with drug, but it's illegal. So it's like all in all, it's illegal for a reason. Okay, drug is something that can kill you also. So yeah, try not to deal drugs, sell drugs, use drugs like illegally. Okay. Another thing is assault. Okay, like it's very unfortunate, especially in today's society. People just are not peaceful, man. Like they just get angry. They're emotionally like so out of control, like anything can set them off. They're just like starting to like yell and start to like fight. Okay, so assaulting people, like ethnic group are being targeted, and then there's like all kinds of horrible things, like people like start to like kill each other with guns now. Okay, so like that's like criminal act, like assaulting, and that's like you can murder somebody with this. Okay, so just try to like acknowledge that there is a danger, and you have to learn how to handle yourself and handle the situation and handle other people. Okay, like hopefully you will not be in a situation where there's a mass shooter or somebody threaten your life, but you gotta learn to like be careful, be aware, and most importantly, not to do those things yourself. Okay, like if you have a criminal record, I have friends that have criminal record. Their life is so limited. Okay, if you're a sex offender, if you're whatever, if you're battery charges and whatever, like on your records, and like that's it, man. Like your opportunity are so limited. You can't even like get a job with that. Okay, so it's something that like hopefully people listening here, they're not deep into the shit. Okay, like try to take your life in a peaceful and lawful manner, and try not to transgression against the law. Okay, so the second fundamental is the law. Try not to have any transgression against the law. Okay. Okay, so this is also something that's like very fundamental. Okay, because like if you don't have health, then you cannot do anything. Okay, health is probably the most important thing. You have to have health. Okay, you have to be healthy. Otherwise, like no matter like what happened to you, this thing is just gonna drag you down. Okay, like you can be successful, but all of a sudden, like, you know, whatever happened to you, right? You're sick and stuff, and then everything will stop. Okay, you will not be able to do anything without your health. Okay, on the reverse side, it's like if you're not healthy, how are you gonna expect to, you know, do anything? Okay, if you're so sick, you can't even get up in the morning, then how you expect to, you know, make anything happen? Okay, so health is something that you have to take care of. Okay, now when I say health, you know, like hopefully people listening here, like they're not so unhealthy or they don't have such a serious health problem that they cannot really do anything with your life. Okay, so hopefully people listening here, like they're just, you know, overall they're healthy, but like they just don't know how to take care of themselves, so sometimes they get into trouble. Okay, hopefully you know, most people are like that. Okay, that's what I am. Like, you know, I don't have any health issue, but you know, I just don't take care of myself. I don't have the knowledge. I just don't have good habits, and you know, like sometimes I just like do things, and then like my body just collapse. Okay, and then when you get sick, when you get injury, then you will regret. You have a lot of regret. Be like, oh man, like if I should have known, then, you know, while I'm healthy, I'll do stuff, or I will do things that will make myself healthy. You know, don't have to wait till like when you're really sick and then you regret it. You know, that would be like very unfortunate. Okay, so this is a fundamental. Okay, so health is something you have to take care of it. Like I say, like there are some problems that you might not even find a cure. You might not even like really like settle. It could be something that's just stay with you for the rest of your life. Okay, but the point is that you don't have to like wait until like you're perfectly healthy to do stuff. Okay, you just have to manage your health, put it under control. If you need to take medicine, if you need to like do stuff, and then like just like take care of it, you know, that's your priority. Like other than that, like, well, is this under control? And then if you have like extra time and like extra opportunity, then you use those time and opportunity to make something happen. Okay, you know, don't be naive that like, oh, if you have stage 5 cancer and then you try to like do something, like, you know what, don't bother. You know, just like make sure you're okay first. You know, take care of yourself. Okay, but hopefully people listening here are not that, you know, doesn't suffer such a like serious health issue. Okay, but it's just like normal people, but they're just like, you know, just like, you know, there's something you can do better, but you just didn't take care of it. Okay, like if you're overweight and then you're like diabetes or like high blood pressure, I mean, like, come on, like you gotta do something about that. Okay, if you just feel unwell, you know, like, try to your best to like make sure you're feeling well. You know, like find ways, find help. You know, like just read something, find something online. You know, like ask for help, take steps to do things. That's what I did. You know, like I don't really have a serious health problem, but I just always a little off. You know, like there's a lot of talk about like fatigue, chronic fatigue, and like all these things, and those are just random names. You know, like don't know what happened, but basically just that like you just don't feel well. You just don't feel well, and when you don't feel well, when you're hurting somewhere, when you're feeling tired, when you don't have energy, when you this and that, when you're sick all the time, then it is hard for you to do stuff. It's just hard for you to do stuff. You cannot do anything. Okay, so health is very important. Okay, so here's just some stuff that I noticed that's more common with like in general, like with people in general. But okay, before I talk about this, is just like, okay, like if you're sick, okay, just go see a doctor, man. Like if you need medical help, just you have to go see a doctor. You know, like if you have serious issue, if you're injured and you need to see a doctor, you have to go see a doctor. Okay, don't like, now there's a lot of things out there just like, oh, you don't need to see a doctor. Like there's like something online, you can just like do those things, and it makes like some claim that like you just do those things and like and you'll be cured and something. You don't need to go to a doctor. Like, man, that's just so misleading. Okay, if you have to take drugs, if you have to take medicine, if you have to see a doctor, you have to do something this and that, like, man, go do it, man. It's science. Okay, uh yeah, like don't fall for like those like scam and like those things and spend money, and then like when you really need help, you need help. Okay. So here are just some like common things. Okay, like injury and nutrition. Okay, like just you have to learn stuff about that. Okay, a lot of chronic illnesses is reversible. Like if you just like learn to take care of yourself, like there's information out there, just on nutrition, diet, just good habits, like just live a wholesome, nice and wholesome life, exercise, and like all those things we know, it's been talked about, uh, we've been taught, but like we just don't take it seriously. We don't emphasize this as something important in our life. Okay, so this is just something we have to change our mentality. Have to focus more on like wellness and health. Okay, but another thing I talk about, like another thing I feel is fundamental regarding to health is mental health. Okay, mental health is just something that can really hold you back if you try to get your life together. Okay, and mental health is something that I think nowadays people are starting to acknowledge it more, which is good. But like you gotta acknowledge these are like problem. Okay, like whatever it is. Okay, ADHD, some kind of compulsive disorder. Uh, a big one is like depression. Okay, depression, bipolar, like those things. Like if you need to see a doctor, you need to take medication. Just take it, man. Those is it's not wrong to do that. You have to like do whatever you can to get yourself under control so you can do something with your life. Okay, it's just so you can do something with your life. Okay, there are like those mental problem, those psychological problem, like schizophrenic, like suicidal tendencies, suicidal thoughts. Man, those things can kill you, man. Like you have to like take care of those things. Okay, I know a lot of people, they have like this kind of problem, and man, they still try to live their life like normal people, and they just like go into this episode, and it's not pleasant. Okay, like you have to like be smart about that. Like you have to take care of that. Okay, like just to be safe. Okay, don't try to like do something that's dangerous and cause injury. Okay, always be aware of your physical safety. Another big one, another very very big one. Okay, it is stress. Okay, whatever we do nowadays, it'll cause stress. Okay, from the smallest thing to like time management to like going through like extreme stress situation. Okay, like whether it's education, like you're a student going through all that, or you're like a corporate America person who like skin through so much debt or something, and okay, this is another thing that's very big. Okay, is addiction. Okay, like a gambling addiction. Okay, and then you like mortgage your house, and then you don't know what to do. You lie to your family, and then your family, your wife found out, your kids found out, and then you're just like went crazy, and then you just jump off a building, kill yourself, and commit suicide. Okay, like this kind of stuff. Like man, it's just like one by one by one by one. Like you just like ruin your life. Okay, so like mental health is very important. Okay, you gotta learn to like live yourself in a wholesome way. Addiction is a very big one. Okay, because addiction is just such a strong psychological disorder. Like when you're addicted to something, like you lost all control of your life. Okay, and not only that, you don't even know that you're lost control. Okay, like your mind will tell you that you don't have a problem. You don't even know you're addicted to something, and you don't even know like you're self-destructing. Okay, addiction is so bad. Like you completely lose yourself. you completely lose yourself, lose your life when you are addicted to something. Okay, drug addiction, gambling addiction, alcoholic. Those things are just like very, very, very sad to see. Okay, but it is like reversible. Like there are people that can come out of it. Okay, so that is something that is hopeful. Like you have to know that you can come out of it. Okay, but the thing about addiction is that you need professional help. Okay, whatever addiction it is, alcoholism, drug abuse, like you have to just seek help. If you seek help, like you can get out of it. Okay, you can get out of it. Okay, no matter how hard it is, you can get out of it. Another thing is trauma. Okay, so like psychological disorder and psychological like problem, the way with your like your character. A lot of talk about like narcissistic behavior, and then and your other thing. Those are just names. Okay, like people in general they throw those things around. They don't really know what it is. But one of the most fundamental thing is that like people have trauma. Okay, like the world is not a beautiful place. People grow up, like they have trauma. Okay, even now after they grow up they still have trauma. People like go through trauma. Maybe even in the future they go through trauma. The life is just a big thing full of trauma. Okay, so like trauma is something that you have to like take care of it. Okay, doesn't matter what kind of trauma. One of the big thing is like abuse, like sexual abuse, child molestation, rape. Another big one is domestic violence. Man, those domestic violence situation, man, it's just such a horrible and sad situation. Yeah, all these things is just trauma. Like all these trauma cause people to have trauma. Okay, and nowadays people are more aware of it because like the internet, whatever, this is just more information, and there's more things are being brought out to the open. But trauma, the point is that if you have trauma, you have to deal with it. You have to go back and face it. You have to go through treatment. You have to treat your trauma. Okay, you have to process your trauma. You have to seek help from the professional, like psychological help to deal with your trauma. Okay, this is not something you can just deal with it yourself. Okay, no matter like how hard you try. Hopefully people listening here, they don't have such a traumatic trauma where like you grew up in a cult and then like they lock you up and they sexually abuse you every day or something. Like, man, those things happens. Okay, these are like real trauma. Like how can you get out of it? Okay, but like hopefully people listening here, they're not dealing with this kind of trauma. But even if people are dealing with this kind of trauma, it is hopeful because people come out of it. There is hope that there are a lot of people that come out of those trauma, and then they went on to live like a wholesome, successful, happy life, even more extraordinary than ordinary people. Okay, so everything can be done. I believe there's hope for everything. So but the fundamental is that like if you have health problem, you have to deal with those kind of things. Okay, there are unfortunate situations where like you have a disabled family member, or you have family member who going through cancer or something, and then there are times that you have to like take care of that. Okay, like if you're responsible, then you have to take care of that. I know a lot of people, their whole life is just about that. Okay, they couldn't really do anything with their life, and then it is a very sad situation. But I also see that like this kind of situation is not permanent, and also like people can still live a wholesome and successful life, even if they have disabled family member, even if they're taking care of somebody who has cancer, even if they have cancer themselves. Like there's no reason and nothing should stop you from live your life to the fullest. Okay, it might not be you might not be like the Kardashian and have all these things, but but you can live your life pretty successfully and happy and wholesome, and and extraordinary. There's nothing to tell you to stop you from living those lives just because you're going through these things. Okay, so the point is that health is something that we have to take care of it. Whether it's you or other people, like we just have to try our best. But taking care of our health, to be strong, this is something that everyone can do, and everyone can do better. Okay, so when I talk about this, I'm not saying that like you have to like make everything perfect before you can do something. I'm saying that like if you've been ignoring your health and if your health is out of control, you just have to get it under control. Once you get it under control, when it is managed well, then there's room for like new things and new possibility, and then life can begin. Okay, so a lot has been said about these fundamentals. So now we just have to apply this to our life. Okay, so you can just get a piece of paper and then just make 3 columns. One, you can just write debt. Okay, so you just write down all the debt you have, and then the second column you can just write down laws, and then you can just write down like all the transgression you have against the law as of now. And then for health, just write down all the health issue and health goal that you have right now. So when you look at this list, and then if there are like problems you haven't been taken care of, go ahead and just look at it and be aware of it, and then start to take steps to take care of it. Okay, when you see all the debt you have, like you don't have to pay those off like before you can do stuff. Okay, it just means that you have to put it under control. Like when I first started, I don't have any means or ways to pay off those debt, and then but I just like make sure I have put it on the payment plan, make sure I don't get any more late fees or interest, make sure I don't accumulate debt, make sure I like don't spend any more money, and I just look at it, I can just realize how much money I have, and then and after that I was aware of my situation, then I start to take steps to like make sure my debt is paid off. So that's the first thing, like you just have to make sure you pay off your debt like as fast as you can. Okay, so that's the thing about debt. Okay, but while you're doing that, it'll actually help you like get your finance together. Like one of the simple things that you'll realize you need more money, so you just take steps to make more money, and before you know it, like you're gonna make more money than your debt, and you just pay off, and after you pay off you have so much more money. Okay, so it kind of just like that, step by step. Okay, but the thing is that you have to be aware of it. Those are always the things that you look at first, and then you look at other things like your goals and like other things, and which will be on the other lessons. Okay, and then another thing is that transgression against the law. Okay, so whatever thing you need to take care of, you need to go to court, you need to pay this fine and whatever, and that's all good. Just get rid of that. But one thing I noticed that like if you have friends or family, or if you just live in an environment or a place where there's just a lot of bad influence, just a lot of bad influence regarding to like breaking laws, then you're gonna be influenced by that. Okay, so your environment, and then especially the people around you, right? Like it's very unlikely you'll get in trouble if the people around you are like law-abiding citizens. But if the people around you, they're always like getting into trouble, and you're friends with them, then it's very natural that you will just get involved in those things because you have a relationship with them. Okay, so one of the thing about that, like if you're really serious about like not to get into any trouble, you cannot do it with those people around. Okay, even if you try really really hard to not get into trouble, but your friend will like influence you, and then you will just end up doing those things, just like in the movie, right? There's in the movie, there's always like the guy who want to turn his life around, but then his friends or whatever, and then asked him to do something, and then he just ended up doing it because he had no choice. He has to do it because he has a relationship with them. He was in the environment. He has his friends and whatever, and then he has no way out. So like thinking about getting, not to like get in trouble with the law doesn't mean that you will not get in trouble with the law. Okay, even law-abiding citizen, occasionally they will like transgress against the law. So like with everything like stacked against you, like you just have to really think about like how you want to live your life. Okay, one of the things is that to get rid of those bad influence. Okay, you have to find good influence. Okay, you have to find good influence and spend more time and your energy and your life towards that direction. Spend it with people who have good influence, and then spend less time with people who have bad influence. Okay, so I'll use myself as an example. So when I tried to get my life together, I was living with people who were like dysfunctional. Okay, they're abusive, and then they don't have anything going on with their life, and then it's just very hard, and then they have no discipline, and then they drag you down with everything, with all of their problems. They just drag you down with it, and it's just impossible for me to get my life together when I'm in that situation. So what I did is also what Jim Rohn suggested. Jim Rohn is someone I will talk about in other lessons, but he suggested something called the limited relationship. Okay, he just gave an example of like how if your spouse, if your in-law, if your relative, they're negative, but then you cannot get rid of them, they're family. But what you can get rid of that is the time you spend with them. That's called limited relationship. Okay, so what I did is that, I just don't spend any time at home. Like, I just go to work, and after work, I don't go home. I just go to the library. I go to a place where I just study. I study. I try to work on myself, doing whatever I can outside of the house, away from these people, all the way until like the last minute, like 5 minutes before I go to bed, or I have to go home and go to bed. Then I come into the house, open the door, take a shower, and I go to sleep. I don't even see them. I only probably just see them for like 5 minutes a day. That's it. Okay, so I just start doing that, and then I just start to hang out with people that are valuable. That I just to be friends with people that gives me value. It makes me better. Instead of dragging me down, like there's something that just like someone that I admire, I want to learn from them. Somebody that's have something to teach me, something I can learn from. Someone who's like, have integrity and value, and people are like valuable to my life, right? Like if you hang out with a person who just stay at home and drink beers all the time, like that's not very valuable, right? But if you hang out with someone who's like has a business going on, has is teaching something, is doing something with your life and starting a project where like you're interested, and then you can learn from them, then those people are like, they're valuable to you because they make you better. Okay, so you need to just like spend time with people that gives you value instead of people that doesn't do anything for you but like drag you down. So that's the limited relationship. Okay, so that's what I did. Okay, of course, like some people, they just have like this compulsive tendency to break the law. Okay, and I would say that just because a lot of people, they just don't know how to live their life normally. Okay, whatever it is, like the way they're raised or their education or just the people around them, they just know that the only way to get money is sell drugs, the only way to get something is to steal, and then the only way to get what you want is to fight, I guess. So this thing is not because you're bad, it's just because you just don't know any better. Okay, so you just have to the first thing to do is just not to break any law. Just do everything within the boundary of the law, but you have to just start to like educate yourself in a new way of lifestyle. Okay, people have all kinds of lifestyle. You don't have to necessarily live the one that you have. You can just choose and live whichever lifestyle you want to. Okay, and if you try to find something wholesome, not like extreme or like weird. It's just like you live a wholesome lifestyle. That's very important for people who wants to get their lives together, especially when you're just starting out. Okay, maybe after you're successful, you can do some crazy thing, but before that, it's very important you keep everything simple and wholesome. Okay, so that's my tip. Okay, with regards to health, again, it is just that anyone can take steps to become healthy, to live better, to feel well. Okay, anyone can do that. Okay, so there's a lot of information online. There's like, books and lifestyle you can choose, and there's a lot of information out there. Okay, and so you just have to start to educate yourself how you can be more healthy, and not like some weird stuff. Okay, not like don't take a pill and then it'll make you like healthy or something. Like there's a lot of those advertisements, like take it for like thyroid problem and like those like things. Like I mean, you have to be smarter than that. Okay, like that like taking a pill and just eating like a couple servings of fresh vegetable is probably better than just taking those pills, right? You gotta have more common sense than that. Okay, so all these things that you look at, okay, so you can start to just be aware of those things and you can just start to take steps to change. Okay, so one more thing I want to say, it's just about like suffering. Okay, so when you see all these problem, this fundamental problem, like maybe if you just see, you write down all these things on a piece of paper and you just look at it, it's basically a reflection of what your life is about. Okay, and if your life is about all these problems, then your life is not a good life, right? Obviously your life is full of suffering. So that's what I realized when I write my list. I just look at this list and I was like, man, it's just such a horrible life. Why do I want to live anyway? Deal with all these things. This is what life is all about. Okay, so what is life is all about? So life is all about suffering. When I say this, like this is just my experience. Okay, this is just my personal like belief. Okay, so you can listen to this and decide what you wanna see how you wanna look at it. Okay, some people are very indifferent. They really believe that life is full of shit, which I agree too. But because of that, they just don't show any like compassion to people or to things. Okay, everything is just about themselves. So they live selfishly, which is your right. You have your right to live however way you want it. But to me, it's not like that. Okay, I really see suffering as something we can change. Okay, it's just I always see it like that. Okay, whenever I just see suffering, or just myself or like in the world, I know that this is just a fundamental things of life. Life is suffering, but I just always have this sense of like belief, or like a sense of like I don't know how you call it. It just doesn't seem right to me. Okay, I feel like there's suffering is always something you can change. Okay, you can always change that. Okay, you don't have to suffer. Okay, you might suffer a long time, you might suffer all the time, but you can also not suffer, even just for a moment, or even if you change something so you don't suffer anymore. Like you can stop suffering. Suffering is something that you can stop. Okay, and another thing about suffering is just that like if you believe suffering is all there is, then you will not care about anything. Okay, you will live your life in a way that is very cruel and hateful, and you will just stare over everybody. Okay, and you will not have any compassion. Okay, like whoever you are, I really just want people to really think about that. Like suffering is not the way life should be. Okay, there is a way to live peacefully, live with like kindness. There is a way to live with like full of positivity and hope, and like you can do something, and you can like take action, you can change things, and it is possible. Okay, and that way of life, if you just do a little bit of that, you will get a taste of something that's not suffering. Okay, so this taste is like a whatever it is, happiness, good feeling, or like positivity, or just like blessing, or like accelerating excitement, like these are the things that you will get to taste. So you will not taste the bitter fruit of suffering all the time. You can also taste the fruit of like peacefulness and wellness. Like those things are possible. Okay, so like this is just something that you have to work on. Okay, you cannot live your life just full of suffering all the time. Okay, just always look for things, always find way to make sure your life is going well, and not just suffer all the time. It's not just be defeated all the time, not just lose hope and whatever. Like it is possible. Okay, if it's not possible, then people will not believe in Jesus or Buddhas or whatever. All those like great beings that like walk in the world before us. They have somehow transcended into like a higher plane of living, and they're full of like kindness and positivity, and then those things are possible whether you believe in them or not. It's not a spiritual thing, but it could be a spiritual thing, but it doesn't matter. The point is that like you don't have to live your life this way. Okay, so that's very important, because if you are in pain all the time, you will not be peaceful, and when you are not peaceful, you will not do anything. Okay, so in those moments of suffering, like you have to find ways, and to find those moments where you have a little bit of time to think, have a little bit of time to reflect, have a little time to like be still and just think about life and how you can do to change it, what you can do like right now to change it. Okay, and then little by little, those little small things will accumulate. So the time you're suffering will start to like be less, and then you start to taste, life without suffering, and then all the good things, and then the wonderful thing, the wonderful feeling that you start to have more and more and more of that. Okay, once you have more and more of that, then it'll be easier for you to take the next step. Okay, if you are always angry, always suffering, and then you are doing all these things, but while you're doing all these things, like your emotion is not being supported with like joy and happiness and hopefulness, then like these things will just become another thing that's like a nuisance. Okay, so it's very important that whatever happens in your heart, you need to have at least some peacefulness, and with that you have to nurture, use that to do something. And then once you use that to do something, then you will become more and more peaceful, because you start to taste the fruit of peacefulness. You start to taste the fruit of being good and being wholesome. And then once you have more of that, then you can do stuff to make it better. Okay, so that's my tip for the first lessons. Okay, always try to find a way, and don't give up. These things can be taken care of, and even if you don't do anything else, if you just live your life just taking care of those things, just living just a simple wholesome life, that's already a very big success. Okay, you don't need to be rich, you don't need to have extraordinary accomplishment or extraordinary life, but if you just have a wholesome and peaceful and happy life, that's already a big success, right? And on top of that, if you want to be more successful, you start from that, right? You cannot start to be successful by suffering all the time. Okay, you can only start to live a better life from a position of peacefulness. Okay, so that's what I want to say for the first lessons.